Alright, looks like we're good to go. My name is Cloud, and today we are continuing Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, the original. So, we are on case 3, day 3, investigation. Go ahead and jump in. I'm going to be talking a lot during this stream. Let me go ahead and get some water. I probably should have done that before stream. I know I'm going to get thirsty. So you have a couple of seconds before we actually start. All right. We've got water. I should be good. Our goal is to get through case 3 today. We're going to see where that goes. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now, all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed up the whole process. So, under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. Yes, let's go and see Hammer first. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick. You must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe up that grin off your face? AWP. Only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please. This is no laughing matter. Talk to him. Can you tell me more about Miss Vask? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. What's up, Trunks? Sorry I missed last few streams, so I've been... it's no problem, man. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors, anyhow. Okay, so that's suspicious. Also, how are you doing today, Trunks? Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video actor. But something in his work caught Vaska's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manella. Now here's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Oh, got him. Doing good? I'm doing pretty good, man. Just trying to get through this case. I have a 2-hour time limit. before I have to go to bed myself. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? Then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a big star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vass came to Global. 5 years ago. Is there anything I can present to him? I don't think he really cares about this, but I want to show it to him anyway. Have you seen this, Mr. Powers? What's that? I've never seen these Steel Samurais in my life. These are the Steel Samurais that appear in live shows. Fanboy collected all these pictures himself. Seeing things like this really makes me think. I mean, so much to these kids, you know? Let's go ahead and go to Global Studios. Uh-oh. Trunks, it's your girlfriend. Oh, this is awkward already. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think our guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station, if we wanted. You eat, you die. Whew! She's alive! I'm sorry, I forgot about that whole interaction right there. Oh my god. Oh man. I was wondering about Dee Vass, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. She's always getting her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Sal Manella, the director? Sal? He's soft, a pushover. Does whatever Vass tells him to do. He treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anybody like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today. Cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I'll never forget this. Oh, she's really upset this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Whew. That voice. I can't do that for very long. That's like my Super Saiyan 3 voice. I have a very limited time frame where I can activate that. Those donuts are edible, so she wasn't joking. That girl would have OD'd. I don't think I can really show her anything. Miss Oldbag? What do you think of this? Hey? I'm not in the mood for thinking, thank you very much. Alright, we're gonna move. I don't think there's really gonna be anything in the employee area just right now. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer? Trunks, I feel like I have my A-game voice. I thought about it after last stream. I'm taking it up a notch. My delivery. That's my goal this stream. Hey, Nick. It's Miss Vask. Hello? Hello? Hey, hello? Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That wasn't the right voice for her. I'm gonna think about hers again. That's all she had to say, apparently. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My Fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer? By yourselves? Oh dear. Guess we go to the trailer. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny. It still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare car she needed. Let's check the trash can. Nothing in here that could be a clue. Just some paper cups and crumpled documents. This is where they had that meeting. There are documents and paper cups scattered around. It looks like they were designing a set to use for the Steel Samurai show. They've got some figures for how much the sets cost. I can't believe they spend that much money on those sets. I don't think there's anything in here. We're gonna have to go... examine this. An incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. Let me examine the steaks, because those were a clue yesterday. This is where Salmonella and D-Vask ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate the T-bone steaks too? Something wrong? I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this feels odd, you know? Can't say that I do. There is something vital missing about a T-bone steak, I will say that much. Go to the employee area. I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming, just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come and see them filmed later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Huh? I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. No, no, no. No touching. Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, Are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. Sorry. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to all these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change color. Wow. Neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color all right. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Okay. How goes your investigation? Tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cut with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep. Sounds like the one who puts Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Okay. So Powers was, drugged by Hammer, the victim. The remains of the employees' lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's T-bone steak on one of the plates, minus the steak. Alright, I really don't think I'm gonna get anything else from here. So let's go ahead and move into Powers' room. I don't think there's gonna be... Oh, Penny's in here. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of Steel Samurai. What? I can't even do that, no. I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the samurai costume, too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumors must be true, then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vast, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new Studio 2. I'm gonna do her little hand thing like I'm kind of whispering. Some sort of accident happened during the filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, as well. The film set? Was that trailer part of the set then? An accident 5 years ago. Yes, in Studio 2. That trailer was part of the film set. Could you tell us what happened? Sorry. I don't think I can. They don't really want us to talk about it. What do you mean, The Last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. No! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kid shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kid shows anymore? Studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all of this ever happened. They want it quiet. You understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids that love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids are gonna be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No! That can't be true! You can't be my father! If the programs just end, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something! Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this.
Take that!
Take that! And this is? The fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be canceled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay. Well, what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. So, this investigation is more of an exposition dump than most investigations. I'm just learning the backstory. I don't really think I find too many clues, to be honest. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died. It was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vask, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer. And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vask asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career before it got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studio back then, you know. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Alright, back to Oldbag. What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag sure doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. Alright. Let's talk about 5 years ago. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols. Nichols. Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols? That assistant we talked to? Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during the filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers. Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that. And the recently departed, no less. I suppose you two think this is fun. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume. I have proof. It's the fingerprints. Sorry. I've got to, get this blanket on. Also, this headache, man. All this talking is real. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure Mr. Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? It's a steak. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill power on the plate. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay. You win, I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vax. She has ties to the Mafia. She silenced the paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, World Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here. Take this. A photograph. Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with the bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor, and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Alright. Well, that is pretty much the critical evidence that we need to break this case wide open. Let's go and confront Vask about it. He's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well... Oldbag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway. Miss Vask. You hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Examine this real quick. There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. I think we're already at the end of this case, pretty much. You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vask, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it is, isn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident. But you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour on its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammers, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hand, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence, boys. Man, these mafia... Oh. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vask care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that when you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. The Vask, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then. In court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you! I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just, I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D-Vask. Redo. And who's at the bottom? D-Vask. That's how that should have been read. Sometimes it's hard to know the inflection of, like, one line because you don't really see it until the next line. Whew. All right, we're already in court. That was only 30 minutes. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. Claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss DeVask to the stand. Miss DeVask is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. She might be the only one that takes a stand, really. Will the witness state her name and occupation? DeVask. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vask. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in the front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, when we went to Studio 1. That's all. That's a lot of testimony. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with the monkey's head toppling over? I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay. Nothing suspicious about that. So 215 and 4, and it blocked the crime scene. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on! Let's talk a little bit more at least. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. Oof. Okay. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think. Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone. This is the suspicious statement right here. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had evidence that proved that she didn't eat the steak, well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said, somewhere. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. So, I'm pretty sure this is gonna work. We're gonna go ahead and do it. Huh. As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate? This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright. Need I remind you, you said it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vask and Mr. Manella ate a T-bone steak outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vask, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vass doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? He was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vass left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that just a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vass. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes. The samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on the case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? I like this one. This is really fast and furious right now. This is like a back and forth, a battle of the wits. What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. I think it's the spear itself, it's broken.
Take that!
I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Would I make a claim that I couldn't? Would I make a claim like that? Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the murder weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can be sometimes unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well. Let's see the murder weapon then. It's from the photograph. Here we go.
Take that!
Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? You see the photo? You see the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. I appreciate it, Trunks. I'm trying. This is not easy to hold up the entire stream, but we're just gonna go with it, man. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Misty Vast meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer, all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? I think she had another way. She had to have another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance... Actually, for the matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. It was a van. Miss Vax, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course Sal Manella had to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vass could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vask, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... D-Vask, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle? You proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Herc, what do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Darn. Don't come so far, only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vask.
Objection!
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well.
Objection!
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vask repeat herself. What exactly would you like her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But But wasn't he the one that always got his guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. Character development on Edgeworth is so good in this series. This is like the inflection point where he starts to realize, like, yo, my whole life has kind of been a sham, and I might be able to do something about it if I start today. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the studio to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issue raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick. We're getting close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Okay. So I might just press everything. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Manella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body laying in front of us. You expect us to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't it be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body, and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vass? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one was there thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his Steel Samurai costume, Powers doesn't really... How did she know that he didn't have the costume? We often left him on the bus shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vash, you may continue. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. security lady old bag, quite agitated, pointing at Power, saying he did it. Old bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. So, this was... Okay. That was at 2 o'clock, so this all happened after 2 o'clock. Right. The Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Powers solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved, thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it, with all these bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why is that? Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Wait, this is real weird. That's a real weird statement.
Objection!
Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vass said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She knew that there wouldn't be a rehearsal because she knew there was going to be a murder or an incident. She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would have made such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? Such a good animation. I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vass, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me. If they were in a meeting, you have to find something to peg this honor here, where everything we've done till now has been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. She was with Sal in an old bag. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal. So I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any... Okay. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well... then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Sal Manila's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuff? Okay. Sorry, I'm going through all of this because I'm making sure I didn't miss anything or didn't trigger anything. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. That triggers all of this. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Wait a second. How did she know that Hammers was injured? Well, knew that Hammers was injured. But Powers was the one that was in. Duh! I've got her! You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes. Mr. Hammers is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the morning run-through. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vask. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but... wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Oh. I feel so bad about... that was bad. It should have been more like, oh. And And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. So after 2. Exactly! Miss Vask, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? She's done. Yeah. Let's see you sneak out of this one, Vask. Very well. I have a question for you. Ugh. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Okay. I have proof and I can show it to you. I present to the court evidence as Miss Vask's motive in this murder. And it's got to be the 5-year-old photo. I know it's not. She's going to turn this in my face. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vask? Boom. 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vask's help, the terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed on him, no doubt. However, you, D. Vask, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source for shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here. Yet you've only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if Mr. Hammer who had killed Miss D. Vask, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vask have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Mr. Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vask's motive for murder. I don't know if I have anything. He had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vask did was push him off the stairs, in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vask. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. And Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill the Vask, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vask, what happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel. Miss Vask, please try to remain calm. No. Look at this. It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No. Manuel. Don't touch him. Miss Vask. No. Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Mr. Vask? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm as collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty, baby. That is all. Court is adjourned. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough to think that he wanted to kill Miss Vask, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid show, and as a villain to boot. Kids love the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him at any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai costume once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Oh, he doesn't know. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Fask would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better if we had not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals. Right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing the accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studio rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick! This is it. This new show starts today. You're coming to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You'd have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Powers. Playing the Pink Princess. Man, so case 3 has come to a close. That was quite the turnabout. And now we get to my favorite trial. I absolutely love this trial. This is my favorite case from the first game, for sure. But I have to go to bed. We will pick up next Thursday for another episode of Wanna Be Right. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to check to see if there's anybody to raid. In the meantime, enjoy my new break music. Peace.